3 zodiac signs have their worst fears come true during Saturn in Pisces on March 7, 2023. Let's get one thing straight before we move on to the true meaning behind the words "our worst fears come true." On Tuesday, we will be so in touch with our own emotions that we will experience them on a whole new level. That goes for love as well as fear. What we're dealing with is the strange, ironic effect that bounces off of the transit we call Saturn in Pisces. When we say that our worst fears are about to come true, we don't mean this literally because first of all, nobody has that kind of power. What we do mean is that we are capable of creating incredibly fearful situations inside our minds, and that if we can't find our way out of them, we will suffer the consequences. That is why it is very important for us to get a grip today. We will be tempted to fold into our fearful thoughts because that's how Saturn in Pisces works. It plays on our fears and gets us to feel as though we are defenseless in its power. We are not powerless, nor are we defenseless. We are, however, only human, and in knowing and accepting this, that will be our defense. This isn't going to be easy, especially for certain zodiac signs, because during Pisces season, we're already tender and overly sensitive. We need to remember who we are and what we are made of. We aren't going to experience our worst fears come true in an external way, but for some of us, the idea of experiencing our worst fears internally is just as bad. Hang tough, signs. This is nothing we can't handle. Aries. First off, it's not that your worst fears are going to be realized today during Saturn in Pisces. What you will experience today is what you've known all along. In other words, you saw it coming, so while it's not exactly a surprise to you, it still stings. You are also aware that you created the situation that brings you this mighty fear, so that kinda sorta takes some of the punch out. Transit Saturn in Pisces works on your sensitivity, and as an Aries, you try to dull down some of that sensitivity so that you can function in a cold, cruel world. Today, however, frays your nerves and makes you feel vulnerable and raw. You don't like the feeling and don't like the idea that you've somehow manifested your fears as reality. You know you'll get past it, but wow, what a distraction. Libra. It looks like the scales are truly going to balance themselves out for you, Libra, as karma seems to be knocking at your door with a little good, old-fashioned payback. Yikes. You knew this was going to happen, and now that it's here, you are filled with dread. That's the magic of Saturn in Pisces. It's all about payback, so if you've done something that might be considered as wrong, like cheating on your mate, or stealing money from a friend, then guess what? You've been found out. There is no getting away from your past actions, no matter how teensy you believe them to be. The truth is, you know these actions aren't teensy, and that's why they show up today as payback. Next time you want to fool someone, make sure they are not the same kind of fool as you are. The universe can be quite leveling. Pisces. You may not feel ready for the exploits of today, but there are kernels of wisdom to be found in the wreckage that may occur on this day, March 7, 2023. Because the transit of Saturn heavily influences you in Pisces, you cannot stop the negative thoughts that continuously arise in your mind. If you feel anxious about them, you may want to meditate them away, and when you find no comfort in trying to escape, you will succumb to your darkest thoughts. That's where the fear lies, and being that you won't be able to control yourself, you will feel like you are living in a nightmare of your creation. This is how your fears come true. They do not take on physical form, but they do enough damage mentally, so you might be unable to tell the difference. It's just hypersensitivity hitting you, and while it won't feel fair, you can take comfort in knowing that it's all in your mind.